I never missed a day of work. Like, I love going to work every day. I would do easily 20,000 steps a day. I work as an appliance salesperson, where I sell appliances and help people load them or get them onto the vehicle and deal with any issues they may have. I was going to move a dryer for a washer and dryer set. When I moved the dryer, I had grabbed the box, and when I moved the dryer to tilt it, the box ripped, and I kept going. Next day, my wife insisted, "Jim, you have to go to the hospital. Your employer will require you to make sure you get checked over." They did the MRI, found both the upper and lower pelvis was broken, and he said there's probably a tear in your rotator cuff.
First experience with him was listening and hearing his story. It was clear he didn't know there were things that I could do for him, but as he told his story, I could pick things out and offer him some services that made sense to what he was telling me. As a caseworker, we always have to be ready to start at the very beginning with that next person who comes in the door and be okay with that, because they don't know. They don't know what to expect.
A new caseworker should look at the person they're dealing with. Don't look at them as a case, look at them as a person.
He came to me feeling not listened to, and explained that early on. And there was one message that said, WCB, these are the first people who actually listen to me.
I feel my goal is to get back to work. Their goal is to try to put me into the touch with the right people to accomplish that goal.
This is a system that he's not, used to, and he's not used to being sick. He's a very healthy man and has, comes to us with a long history of not missing work. But nothing else was different in the fact that he wants to go back to work. He is a worker.
So eventually I ended up with Lena. From a person who's dealing with workers' compensation and Lena, man, you guys are lucky to have her. I've been lucky to come in contact with her too. Like, everything has been so smooth. I feel like she really is sympathetic to my situation and wants me to improve.
Providing him with services within his home has been something that's, had to happen to make sure that he can move around his space safely and that he can heal here and not have any concerns. So we've involved occupational therapy to do home visits. He works his usual life rhythm into his recovery, setting up for big things like Halloween and Christmas have been part of his rehab that he's just naturally built in. I think that we as caseworkers can gain a lot from people from listening to their story as a person. You gain some understanding about who they are, and you can kind of then understand a bit about what motivates them. Those notes that get sent in the middle of the night, we see the timestamps. That's what people are up worrying about, this stuff at 4:30 in the morning, So I would much rather come in and see a message waiting for me when I start my shift than think that there's people there losing sleep over, what are the next steps.
My wife and I are celebrating 50th anniversary. So that's in September. So our goal is to go to Paris. We want to go to Paris. We want to dance along the river in the Seine. And I feel like, based on what's going on, I'm going to accomplish that goal, and we'll send a picture to Lena from Paris, like dancing on the Seine, right? That's the goal.